You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
The entrance to Dolphin Square stands out among the brick with its solid minimalist columns. Through this entryway, you could once get to the Dolphin Square Baths, a beautiful public pool as seen in the 1967 psychological horror The Sorcerers, starring Ian Ogilvy, Boris Karloff, and Catherine Lacey. Lacey and Karloff play Estelle and Marcus Monserrat, an aged couple who are struggling with the limits their older bodies have put on their life. Marcus, a retired therapist, has discovered a way to control and experience the body of another person. This, they hope, will allow them to feel what it's like to be young again. For their victim, they choose Mike, played by Ogilvy, who they see as a typical detached 20-something of the swinging 60s. He goes to all the clubs, takes drugs, lives a life of pleasure, but never seems to find anything that's new or exciting enough to keep his interest. With the promise of, quote, dazzling, indescribable experiences, Marcus lures Mike into his apartment and into a hidden laboratory where Mike is tied to a chair for, essentially, advanced hypnosis. After a psychedelic and unnerving scene, Marcus and Estelle gain the ability to tap into Mike's mind, controlling his actions and feeling everything he feels. The first thing they do is lead Mike to the Dolphin Square Baths, where Mike and his girlfriend go for a midnight swim. The two sneak in through this front entrance and dive into an empty pool with their clothes on. The scene is filled with laughter, and the remarkable interior of the old Dolphin Square Baths really shines. The color and echo of the tiled room are almost seductive. The scene is tactile and all about pleasure. As we see Mike enjoying the water, we cut back to Estelle and Marcus, reveling in the coolness, feeling the warmth in the water against their skin, feeling the sensation of young muscles diving and swimming through the water with ease. The absolute freedom of it is clearly bliss as we look at Marcus and Estelle's faces back in their dingy apartment. Sadly, the baths have since been taken over, so you can't visit them, but the exterior entrance has been kept just as it was in the film. And as the baths have been destroyed to make way for something new, so too does Mike's joy turn sour in the film. Estelle slowly becomes addicted to living Mike's life and takes him on increasingly extreme and dangerous excursions. The horror grows until everyone's life is in danger, and Mike is barely clinging to his own identity. The brief moment here at Dolphin Square is the one moment of joy, where you see real happiness for everyone in the film. As you're already here in Pimlico, it's worth having a stroll down to the Thames from here. The area has been used in more than 20 films, making it very familiar for anybody who enjoys London cinema. The most famous films set here are probably the Ealing comedy Passport to Pimlico, although that was mostly filmed on set, and the 1966 Alfie, starring Michael Caine. Of course, it also appears in the creepy 1940s psychological thriller Gaslight, which is where we get the term gaslighting from, meaning intentionally convincing someone they're crazy. Though not a horror film, Gaslight laid the groundwork for generations of psychological horror, up to and including the 2020 horror The Invisible Man. And if you make it down to the Thames, to the east you can see Millbank Tower, which appears in the 1970s horrors The Satanic Rites of Dracula and Vault of Horror.